Evening, Pete and Pipettes. It's just your madman. Well, I went out this morning because it felt cold. Laid up in t-shirt, hoodie and a big coat. Fucking halfway down the road, I was sweating my tits off. It was boiling. I can't make it out. And also, I mentioned it was fun. I'm not going to get too far down the rabbit hole of stuff, but when it's got that damp air, does anybody else get like a chemical smell? Or is it just me? I don't know. I had it back in, like I say, Christmas time, and I've got it now. Anyway, back on to what I'm really on about. So I've got 2 points to make today, and I'm not after a kudos or a pat on the back or smoke blown up my ass or anything. It's just, it kind of goes against the grain of some of the things that have been said about me lately. So, I'd gone downtown. I'd gone down Fremo to do a little bit of shopping, do some bits and bobs. And on my way home, I bumped into a guy called, well, I won't give you his name because, you know, he doesn't know I'm doing this video. But he's got, well, people say he's got learning disabilities, but he's got a big scar across there, so I think it's some kind of brain injury. He's 30-year-old. He's quite eloquent. He's very specific in the way he speaks, which a lot of people who have issues are. You have to have a really slow conversation with him. Not in a piss take kind of way, but for him to comprehend what you're saying. But we discussed all sorts of stuff. And anyway, as I bumped into him, I said, "Oh, now then, mate, how are you?" He says, da-da-da. I said, "Oh, where are you off?" And he was going to go to a pub down Fremo, and then he asked where I was going. So I said, "Well, I'm going just past where you've been. I'm going to go into my local up there." So he said, "Oh, do you mind if I come with you?" I said, "No." So he comes in, and like I say, he's very specific in the way he talks. He likes to be very eloquent, but he's also got an incredible amount of knowledge about things. So I walks in, landlady says, "Oh, are you buying together or not?" And he looked at me and went, "If it's all right with you, I'll pay for my own and you pay for your own." I'm like, whatever. So we sat down and we had this intense conversation about his supported living, the fact that he has a carer, goes in once. He lives in what's it called? Where they have like somebody that goes in just to keep an eye on him once an hour or once a day, sorry, with a few other guys. And we had conversations about how he does his shopping, his cooking, his own washing, so on and so forth. Anyway, me being me, the way I look, and the things I've told you about other people's opinions of me and stuff, after about half an hour, one pint or one bottle of Newcastle for me, a pint for him, I said, "I'm just nips at low." So I went at low, and this old fella, who quite often looks at me, hang on, just turn my gas fire down, who quite often looks at me and sort of prejudges the way I am because of my tattoos and my piercings and whatever else. He followed me to the loo, and he went, "How are you having such a conversation with that fella?" And I was, to be honest, I was like stumped. I was like, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, I couldn't hold a conversation with somebody who takes 5 minutes to say a simple sentence." And I'm just like, well, you know, I used to do it for work. I've got an uncle, or had an uncle, sorry, he's passed, and I've got a brother, stepbrother, both for learning disabilities. I just said it's just what I do, and whatever. Anyway, so we had this conversation, and then this fellow went home, and I got up to leave, and loads of the old people come up to me and says, "Oh, I was like real nice if you'd sit with him." And I'm just like, I know his name, I know a little bit about him. It's just like sitting with a friend. Anyway, and then the second point of today, done this shop across the road from me. Told you before, run by an old Pakistani couple, older than me. Anyway, I went over this morning. Turns out, you know, like you get those videos where people are going into shops in like Manchester, Birmingham, London, so on and so forth, filling the baskets up with stuff, and then just walk and clean out. Well, it turns out somebody tried that last night. Now, the fella that works in the shop, he works pretty much 95% of the hours, and when it's a bit quiet, he'll go upstairs, because they live above the shop, and his wife will take over. Now, his wife's younger than him, but like I said, she's older than me, and she's tiny. She's a real frail lady, and they're a lovely couple. They're an honest, hard-working couple. And if you want something in the shop that they own stock, they'll get it for you. Anyway, apparently, I went over this morning, and the guy was quite agitated. I asked him if it was all right. And apparently, at some point last night, about 10:30 last night, some scrote walked into the shop, picked a basket up, started putting bottles of wine in, chocolate, grapes, bread, cakes, jars of stuff off the shelf and everything. So the lady said, if you need another basket, I'll get you with that. With that, he mumbled, and I've seen her tonight because I've just taken her some flowers over. And apparently she didn't understand what he was saying, and he pulled off. Now, because it's her business, she said she instinctively went into trying to grab the basket mode. He ended up swinging her around, lobbing her to the floor, and has cracked the top of her hand into the upper part of her, well, the lower part of her forearm, but on the top, so above her wrist, above the, is it called the radius or something like that, I think. Anyway, they've gone through all the right protocols, had the police out, they've took security camera footage and everything like that. But it's disgusting. This is where, again, this goes to point, well, I'll let you make your own mind up, right? But like I say, it's a Pakistani couple, but they're lovely people. They're dead nice. You go in that shop, and if you're 50p short or a quid short or something, the guy will let you off as long as you go in the next day and pay it off, or when you've got it. No need to rob from them. They're a nice couple. It's a nice shop. But yeah, some little scrote, well, little. I've took a photograph because they've put a photograph on the door of him off CCTV. Looks like he's in his 40s. Yeah, he's broken old lady's arm. He dropped 2 bottles of wine, so we didn't get them. And he ran off with a couple of bars of chocolate, 4 cans of Stella, I think the guy said, and some grapes. It's disgusting. It's absolutely abhorrent. You get people that come over and take the piss and get everything in this country. You've got a couple like this that work hard. This shop's open 7 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. Work hard for the local people in this area of my town. And they get treated like that by some scumbag. So yeah, so like I said, I took the old lady some flowers in earlier because I don't think people need to put up with that. Having worked in shops and done customer service work, you don't need that bullshit. But it says a lot, doesn't it? Both the reaction to me taking this fella into the pub or going in the pub with this fella and this situation in the shop. It says a lot about what people perceive and judge as the norm. But anyway, I'll post this fella's picture on my main socials, like my Insta and my Facebook, where I've got a lot of local people, and between us we'll find him and hopefully get to him before the police do. Failing that, we'll just let the police do it. But yeah, the country's fucked. The country's fucked. Just another example of how far down that rabbit hole we are already. Anyway, that's another 10-minute video. Take care, peeps. Look after yourselves. Look after your elders, your relatives, your neighbours, your family and your friends. Look after the people that sit around your table. Look after the people you talk to online. Look after the people you see in the shops. Look after your shopkeeper. Because you never know when this kind of shit is going to come to a town or even a village near you. Look after yourself. Stay safe. Stay proud. Stay loud. Peace.